It's a new week.
Correct.
Is there a new poly struggle this week?
I'm so glad you asked. There actually is. Let me lay it on the table for you. It's this.
What the heck is that?
That's my foot. It's not technically my foot off of my body, but it's my foot now. This is a reference to one of our favorite shows, The Real Housewives. There's nothing fake or artificial about me. And it also just tied in with like Halloween. So that's what that is. What kills me though is that I kept trying to make it a secret, and it kept squeaking. It kept squeaking because it's a dog. It's a dog toy.
Okay. I wasn't gonna ask because I was like, you know what?
You saw me touching something over here, huh?
No, I heard like a weird sound, but I was just like, I don't need to know everything. Like something's always going on with this boy. His body's probably just like, I don't know.
It's giving out.
But even. And when you put it down, it like I was so lost because it was like I didn't see you walk in, right? So I'm just like, did you like somehow lose a foot like between the last time I saw you and then like why was it never like a top? I was so lost. You're so annoying. Where did you even get that from?
Five Below, not sponsored.
Not not sponsored. That was funny. That was funny. I didn't see that coming.
It's gonna be so funny though for the people that are just listening because they're gonna be like,
"What the fuck?
Yeah, like, what is going? What are we seeing?"
I'm doing my best this week to not for this episode to not cuss as much because I realized
that we get demonetized.
Well, I mean, we're not monetized right now, so that's the least of our worries. But it's okay for me to like make a sentence and not have the F word or the B word in it.
Not be so vulgar.
Yeah, because you know me, I'm a very pure, classy woman.
Goody Benedicta.
Yeah, that's not my full government name.
It just sounds more holy than just Benny.
Goody Benny.
Yeah, Goody Benny sounds like she's being sarcastic.
Yeah, I have a little bit of colds this week.
Can't relate. Never do that.
Yeah,
never
you definitely can't relate. I feel like somehow maybe you give it to me. But yeah, this week has been actually a very, very long week for me with work and stuff. And this weekend is also going to be a long weekend to finalize some stuff. So last week when we were here, I was like, yeah, all the other episodes of Blackout's out. I'm going to go home, knock it out. Nah, that's a lie. I'm still on I'm on episode 13 now because I watched 2 episodes this morning. It is such a good show. And I'm going to repeat myself. It is such a good show. If you have not seen it, you need to go see it. I convinced one of my best friends to watch it, and then we were both talking about it with our other best friends, and she didn't want to get left behind. So she started watching it, and what she has been doing till like 2 a.m. this morning is texting our group chats, talking to herself about the show. She's like, everybody in the village just needs to be arrested. Wow, I can't believe so she's like doing a full replay.
What platform is this on?
It's on Hulu, Disney Plus.
See, that brings up a great topic for me because I feel like every platform that has K-dramas should take a note from Vicky and they should enable comments from viewers.
Yeah, that's so fun to watch with comments.
Yeah, like then your friend wouldn't have to like post it in the group chat. She could just post it in like the Vicky comments.
No, she probably wouldn't.
She's like, that's a lot of work.
She probably wouldn't do that. Yeah, because she called us like yesterday afternoon and she was like, what did she say? She was like, oh, I'm just calling to talk about what my thoughts are on this show that you guys are watching. And then she just like spouts some things, but because me and my other friend were already ahead, so we know that some of her guesses are wrong. And so she, anyways, it's a really good show. I say all that to say I have not finished it yet, but that's because I like if I didn't have to be an adult with a job, I probably would have
Or
finished
if
it.
there were more hours in the day.
If there were more hours in the day and my body did not require sleep, I would definitely have finished it. But at the same time, like,
The
if I
intentions were there.
finish it, like, what's next? You know?
Well, you've already sent me things that are next.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, did you black out for that too?
No. Okay, before we go into the shows we're talking about today,
Yeah.
I am so excited for November. November can't come fast enough. Well, actually, oh my gosh, I didn't take my medication today.
Yeah, like you're a little bit too excited.
Actually, there are two things I'm excited for. One has already dropped. I believe it dropped either yesterday or 2 days ago. So there's this K-drama called Stranger, and it has 2 seasons on Netflix. And I love it because it's a procedural show. Well, it's about prosecutors, the justice system.
That sounds up your alley.
Yeah, just not so great things happening behind the scenes. Anyway, so there are 2 seasons of it. I loved it every single season. Well, each season. I love the first one best. There's a character in that show that's got his own spin-off, and that dropped 2 days ago. So I'm going to watch that because I was going to suggest we watch that, but because you haven't seen that other show,
You ain't got time for me.
I don't nobody got time for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know because I haven't seen it, so I don't know how much of a requirement of knowing the context of the other show you would need to watch it. But I feel like it probably would be like terrible if they made it a requirement for you to have seen that show.
Yeah,
I
like
think
it should kind of stand on its own.
It should stand on
right?
its own, but like if you've seen the show, you have enough of the backstory of the character.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to watching that because I don't think he's been a male lead in a drama like ever that I've seen. And so I'm looking forward to watching that just simply because of the adjacent connection. But what I'm the most excited for, and I've been waiting forever, The Fiery Priest season 2 is coming out in November. I'm so excited because I love season 1. Season 1 came out like years ago, probably like 2016 or something. It felt like,
Damn, that's a long
or maybe
time.
2018, just somewhere. It came out years ago. I loved it, every single piece of it, and I'm looking for season 2. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Okay, well, enough of that. We can get into today's recap. Or I guess
No Pain,
discussion.
No Love.
No pain, no love. Okay, so we'll start with no, I just got confused. No gain, no love. So,
I thought you got it.
no, no, I'm struggling today. No gain, no love. And so this is like what we watched episode 5 and 6. We were supposed to do a hangout session where we watched basically finish No Gain, No Love, but like I said last week, who knows? Life with life, and life definitely lifed for me this week.
The intentions were there. Like you had all the best
they
intentions.
were there. I was like, Polly, I think I'm gonna need a rain check for today. And I think you also were like tired as well. So
yeah.
Anyways, 5 and 6. This is where we kind of see the return of Ji-wook, the convenience store worker. Because you don't be remembering character names.
Nope.
We see the return of Ji-wook because episode 4 ends with him like walking into
the building,
the building of where she worked at.
Yeah.
And you know, I was thinking about it, and I was like, if I was like dating somebody or married to somebody, would I want to work in the same company as them? I personally would hate it.
Yeah, like I would need a break from you. Like,
yeah, like I see you at home, then I gotta see you at work too. Like, no, we would definitely break up faster or divorce faster, whatever the case may be. I would absolutely hate it. But okay, this episode 5 more specifically, was a little bit tricky. Well, not tricky. So that guy rolled up on Ji-wook, the old guy that works for the CEO.
Damn, now you calling him old, but like he also called him old later in the episode.
I don't know what else, like, I don't remember the characters' names. I don't know what else to call him.
I don't think he ever introduced himself.
Yeah, I guess maybe we don't need to know.
Yeah. But we learned a lot about him. A lot that I didn't need to know. Like, not that he's infertile.
Oh yeah, because she thought that like maybe that's his dad. Because
But then also he threw shade because he's like I'm only 13 years older than you. He's like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 40. He's like, do you want to see my ID? And he's like, yeah. And then he's like, no. I was like, damn, poor man.
he said, how old do you think I am? Like, it couldn't possibly be me. Anyways, the guy rolling up to Jiwook, which I'm still very confused, and this is where my confusion lies.
This is a confusing story.
Yeah. I think that like I'm trying to understand the timelines, right?
Same.
Because she stopped hearing from him.
It seemed like it was like 3 months.
Yeah, but did he stop? Did she stop hearing from him prior to him meeting old guy, or after? Because it seemed like he was just like disappeared from her. He was randomly walking home, and that's when he met the old guy. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, did he ghost her prior to that guy coming to him?
I think he did. That's the impression that I got.
Okay, because that's the impression that I got. So he didn't. And anyways,
they don't be giving us clear timelines.
I'm just like,
because remember, I thought that the grandma was still alive. I didn't know that the dad was dead.
I mean, that one's on you.
No, we got
that one's on you.
We finally got clarification.
Because there are no. There are two people seated on this seat, and there's only one person that thought the grandma wasn't dead. The dad wasn't dead, even though it was obvious. But I'm glad they gave you your spoken clarification this episode.
So many other K-dramas will show you funerals of people, like, so that you know that they're dead.
Yeah, that's if it's like a major part of the plot point. Like, think.
Well, even if they had like a shrine to them in their house, like where their pictures up, then
a shrine is crazy. They only do that when they do a memorial service.
Oh, I thought when you have somebody die, you have it all the time.
A shrine, though. What do they do? Worshiping the body?
Because I swear I saw this one movie where like, I feel like I'm thinking of To All the Boys I Loved. Like, what is her name? Laura Lee or whatever. Like, I feel like she always has that picture of her mom. I don't know.
I don't even think that she would call it a shrine to her mom. I mean, I hear you, but like, if they died while the series was like happening, like, let's say when Jiwook and whatever they met in their convenience store, whatever experience, and then her grandmother died. But these people have died before the story that we are watching.
See, that's why begins. Like, I don't need a funeral then. I just need for them to like put underneath, like, just put like a caption that says the year.
I guess maybe they didn't realize that there are going to be some people that really need their hands held.
You literally said you didn't know about the guy.
No, I said, okay.
You know,
which guy? Which guy?
Old man, apparently, even though he's 40 years old.
What about him? We don't know. That one wasn't clear.
We're
but
getting
dead
too far
people.
On the tangent, like, we need to get back.
Because I don't want to let this go.
We need to get back to the recap. Here.
Because, anyways, we're gonna move on.
Thank you.
Because I could definitely go all day. Down that path.
Yeah, it's a tourist thing. Like, yeah. You're like.
Anyways, what was I saying? I remember.
Okay.
Don't speak for me.
I'm speaking for the listeners.
What listeners? Just kidding.
They immediately like
they
pause. Yeah,
they're like, oop. I guess I mean nothing to her. No, what I was trying to make a point about the old guy was, if somebody walk up to you, and I guess maybe he does care about his mom, in essence threatening you, telling you gotta go work at this random company. Why? Like, what is the reason? We know that obviously why later, but like, what are you justifying by telling me if you don't want your mom to be affected, you have to go work at this place? Well, what's 1 + 1? Because it's not equaling 2 here. Like, what would be the benefit to you that I'm working at this? Are you crying?
Yeah, but it was more like crying from laughing, not crying from being sad.
It's like, I just see like this singular drop of tear on the side. I'm like, listen,
it was really triggering.
Don't nobody got time for that. So I didn't understand like why Jiwook was like, okay, this random stranger, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply and work for this company. But he starts there, and I guess would you have recognized him if you went to their wedding, saw him at their wedding, and then saw him at the office? Would you have not thought like, oh, that's her husband?
I feel like I would, even though he changed his hair only minorly, like, because like I feel like it's like she said, like the more good looking someone is, like the more you kind of take note of their physical appearance, and like it's not like he stopped being good looking, like.
I was like,
And then with what is her name? Yijin? Is that her name? Yijin? The one from HR?
girl, I don't even know that girl's
Or
name.
it's like Yi Lin?
She's just the HR lady.
Oh, it says Yi-rin. I think they call her Yi Lin though.
Okay. Then yeah, her
HR person, yeah. But she was like, isn't he like the doppelganger of like your
husband? Yeah, because she was like, I could have sworn like I almost mistook him for your husband.
Yeah, but Miss Zero lost. She doubled down and she was like, no, my husband's a
must
way
be
hotter. Oh, I thought she said he was hotter than that guy.
Oh, she also said that
Yeah.
too. That he's way hotter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I would have been able to be convinced that that's not the same guy. They literally look the same, just shorter hair. But I'll suspend my disbelief because that's what the writers want me to. The scene where they go out to do some kind of like field research, right? They set up an area.
Oh yeah.
And then she like spots this kid that basically has some injuries on him. And then she starts taking pictures and the dad shows up. I just can't like fathom not even being scared and full on trying to beat up a woman in public.
Yeah, like that only supports the claims against you that you are abusing.
Yeah, because what do you mean? Like daylight.
Like if
no shame.
Yeah. Like if you would abuse somebody in public who's a stranger to you, why would you not
do that in private
closed
with a
doors?
little kid?
And also like it was so sad that his like son was like defending him when what's his name was like beating him up. He's like, no, not my daddy. Like,
yeah.
And then also we got introduced to the lawyer who has the same exact name as our character from, I don't know if you caught that, from Judge from Hell. The legal like woman's name, her name is literally Kang Bitna.
Oh, I did not catch that.
Yeah, which I like looked it up and apparently like it's not the most uncommon name for like somebody's name to be that.
Huh.
But yeah,
I didn't catch that at all. I didn't even know they even said her name.
They did, because like he made it a point to say that, like he was like, oh, legal person Kang Bitna, and I was like, she's in this too.
she's in this too. My favorite part of that storyline, the part where the dad tried to basically attack Hae-yeong and Jewok came and basically was like beating up the dad, was when they go to the police station and the dad was like, well, I'm a business owner, so like even if this becomes a thing, it wouldn't affect me, but you work for a company, it would affect you. And she's like, well, since we're already here,
grab that chair,
let's make it worth it. Like he thought that he wasn't gonna say that, because when he did say it, I think Juke was like holding on to him and he let go.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh no, I'm doubling down. Like I'm already here.
She's like, I
might as well make it worth it.
I miss zero loss. Like
zero losses
I'm not
over
gonna
here.
get lost.
Yeah, like yeah, the audacity. I think he thought that like if he said that, like she was just gonna like back down. I don't know. I really hate men. Just kidding. I hate people that abuse their own kids. Yeah, I don't love that aspect. But thankfully, it was a short part of the episode, and they didn't expand too much on it. I mean, overall I think it was a fun episode. We got to see the CEO and the writer kind of come to a little bit of an agreement where she dropped the lawsuit.
That they're dead.
Who's dead?
The dad and the
grandmother. Yeah, I literally in my notes I wrote like they finally said out loud her dad passed away. Paulino, because last week this man was like every single time I brought up one or the other is like, wait, is it confirmed? Did they say wait she's dead? I'm just like, are we watching the same show? So when they said it the first time she says it, that was the literal thing that was going on in my head. Like I have to write this down so I call it out to Mr. Paulino over here. the part where they have dinner with the dad, with the chairman, which at that point I think Jiwook already knows that that's his dad. Do you remember the dinner I'm talking about?
This is in the next episode, right? Not in 5.
I mean, we were talking about 5 and 6 together.
Oh, got it.
Do you remember the dinner though?
I do. I was like, I didn't even get to talk about the whole like allegation against her though, like the whole.
You can talk about it. Nobody's holding your hand, boy. Speak on it.
That was crazy to me to like insert yourself in someone else's drama. Like you're just out here eavesdropping on
The
people's
coworker.
conversations. Yeah. And then being like, yeah, I reported it on your behalf. Like you don't know the context of like what they're talking about. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and I mean, I understand because seemingly what they showed us after was that wasn't just some random coworker. Like they seem to have been friends. If you remember from episode 1 when he went and they did an interview, that guy was one of the guys in the interview.
Oh, is
with
that
the
what he
girl.
kept bringing up, that he's the Buddha of electric whatever
Yeah,
company?
and so it seems like because it seemed like they formed a friendship. So it wasn't like just some random coworker. Somebody like he knew Jiwook. Now, if I witnessed that, like something like that happening for you, before I go report to HR, I'm gonna have a conversation with you
Like, are you
and
okay?
just say like, "Hey, I overheard this. Like, you don't gotta say nothing. I can go say something for you." But like to not actually validate that with your friend
Mhm.
is crazy. Almost getting her like, I don't even know what they were gonna do to her.
They were very intense about it. Like they were so disappointed in her.
Yeah, they were like, and she's sitting here thinking that he's the one that did it.
What's crazy though is in this show they make, which like I'm not trying to like minimize it, but they be like making things seem like they're much worse than they are. Like he's like, oh, I don't even want to read this. Like it was giving like at the police station with the guy about the comments, which we got a little bit of insight about that. Like I guess he left a comment about her parents,
Hmm.
which I don't know if he meant like her adopted parents or her actual parents.
I don't think he knew. He doesn't
Well,
know her.
oh yeah, but I don't know
too.
how she interpreted it. But then also for her to tell him go kill yourself, that was crazy.
Yeah, I think because I'm sitting here just like, okay, so what? She writes some sexy stuff that your mother reads. Take it up with your mother. Like to really sit and leave a comment. And I've
Well,
seen.
I don't think he actually told her to kill himself or herself. She just like every time you left those comments, that's what it made me feel like oh, I'm not worthy of being
Yeah,
alive.
but whatever he's leaving has to be like,
We're not getting the full story.
we're not getting the full scoop. Like whatever he read at the police station, the last 2 episodes that we watched, can't be
the worst of it.
the worst of it.
I guess.
Because for her to have felt, because we talked about this, like what makes it different from all the other comments that people leave.
Yeah.
If we were to look at what he read out at the station, he had to have said something
Which I think the triggering thing was the
significantly
parents kind of thing.
worse. I just felt there's like he just went crazy writing all kinds of stuff. But I'm just like, well, for what reason? You're a grown man. Your mother is a grown woman. Why are you harassing some random person online? And I just want to say, someone commented on our Instagram, one of our videos,
Oh
and they, in essence, put like an emoji of a noose. And that's trying to say that, anyways, I'm just saying, it literally costs no money to just keep scrolling. Like, costs nothing, free of charge to keep scrolling. Anyways, yeah, so she dropped the lawsuit. Wait, we're talking about my bad.
The writer.
The, her getting in trouble over the friend reporting.
Oh yeah, but it's okay. I was fine with moving on to that.
I'm so sorry. I'm so out of it today.
No, you're good. So back to the dinner, as you were saying.
As I was saying, the dinner. So obviously, it's clear that the dad, in essence, seemed to have set up a scenario where he'd be able to have dinner with Jiwook, but forgot to tell the old man, because when he showed up, he looked like surprised to see Jiwook, but Jiwook already knew because the truth. But at dinner table, the dad is being so obvious, is like asking Hae-yeong a lot of questions about herself, about her mom, and about her family, and why you chose him. And I'm just like, sir, you're making these very
Transparent.
very transparent, very obvious. And then what's
Like I
his
don't know
name?
how he was a whole CEO because he's like so he lacks tact in so many things. Like his wife seems much more like even when like he tried to have his son sign the whole contract
Hmm.
and then he was threatening him with the will and then she's like no, how about this, like you have to sign your own contract and if you embarrass us I'm getting the company. She's such a badass, like I love
Yeah.
her.
I don't know. I mean, maybe at some point, I mean, some people, they get handed things because it belonged to their
Oh
dad.
true, like
So
nepotism.
some people, I don't know if that's the case for him, but that's generally and usually in the dramas how like the same way that the guy, his son, is the CEO.
Yeah.
So sometimes you might not be great at something, but you've been handed something that kind has been built already. So who knows? But he definitely lacks the tact of what you would usually see of like a chairman of a big company. But my favorite part was Jiwook basically saying that like, yeah, I don't have a father. My grandmother told me that like he's an asshole. He's an asshole who doesn't want to claim his child. I'm interested in seeing how this plays out. So Jiwook's relationship with um, the CEO's son, because they're definitely going to be brothers. Um, how he's gonna be welcomed if they're gonna end up having to go against each other. But I just don't see Jiwook wanting to do something like that.
I feel like they probably will be able to bond on like their morals because they both seem like they have like a strong sense of like morality and like they want to try to do good things.
Yeah.
Even though, even though our CEO he's goofy as hell, like I feel like he has that redeeming quality where he like sees how to do good things and he like really follows up on it. Like he was good enough to like have Kang Bitna do the whole lawsuit about the little boy.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, I think it was like a good watch for episode 5 and 6. And
I could do without her ex boyfriend though. Like
yeah,
why he out there on her stoop like that? Like,
is very annoying.
yeah.
But you
I
can
was so impressed too when what is his name, Jiuk? Like
Jiwook,
when he like picked him up and carried him to the taxi. Because I'm
yeah,
like, you're so like thin.
small.
Yeah, and that other guy is tall and he's kind of big.
Yeah.
So that was crazy to me.
I was in my mind. I was like, "Oh, did they attach wires somewhere to help him carry?" But hey, some people can just be strong.
Yeah.
I know I'm not, even though I look like I would be.
I wouldn't want to run into you in a dark alley. Not with that hat. Like you look like you look like you fucked me up.
Nah, there's nothing to be scared of.
Literally, because what did you? Oh yeah, I gave you a water. I gave you a water bottle, and you're like, "Damn, did Superman close this?"
It was really tight. Okay,
That's what she said. That's what he said.
grow up.
I know.
I mean, I love their chemistry. Hae-yeong and Jiwook's chemistry. You can tell like they locked in. That's his wife, fake or not. That's his person,
You got the
and
rings to prove it.
yeah. So I know that now we're like, in essence, we're halfway through the show because it's 12 episodes. So things are probably gonna get a little bit dark. They're probably gonna fall apart.
I actually was watching a YouTube video and people like were commenting on it because I was looking for like a recap just so I could be up to date because not all of us wrote notes. Some of us try to steal people's notes.
Yeah.
Benny.
I've never been lied on before.
I'm just kidding, but
This is what people who are wrongfully accused of something feel like.
but yeah, no, in the comments people are like, I wish we could just like carry on with like our like whole goofy, happy kind of vibe. Like I don't need all the bells and whistles. They're like,
yeah, it's definitely gonna
gonna
have
go
a
off.
switch of tone, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. I want to get into like maybe watching the episodes like the day before filming. I watched them too early on, and then like life just happens in between, so I forget like all of my like full passion about it. But if I were to do like watching the day before filming, I just know I'm setting myself up for failure.
yeah, like then you have no time to actually like if something comes up.
I'm like, I might get here and be like, you know what, episode 7 and 8. That's all you, because I didn't watch it.
You'd be like, here's what's going on in the tabloids, guys.
That's what we're talking about today. Anyway, so that was No Gain No Love. What would you rate episode 5 and 6 like as a
whole?
yes?
I would give it like a 7 or 7.5, just because for me, the whole abuse thing kind of brought me down. Like, it was a little bit too sad. Like, I didn't need to see all his bruises. Like, that killed me. Like, that was really sad to see him like that.
Yeah.
Like, she should have done more. She should have like dragged that kid away. She should have kidnapped him.
You know, I agree.
You're like, there's a better way to go about that.
Maybe not kidnap him, because that would also scare the kid. That's a stranger he doesn't know. So let's not add more.
They have some rapport. They relate.
Nah. I'll give it an 8 over 10. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
kind of close.
Yeah, we're very close. Okay, we're gonna switch gears now to
No
the
judge,
judge.
no pain.
The judge from No Judge, No Pain. That's like the
That
when
would
you
be-
mix
That would be like a lie though, because
there is pain.
yeah, like Binda be inflicting pain on these people.
She really do be. Okay. Where did we leave up last episode? Do you remember? Episode 4? I actually don't.
I'm like, can we get a Google?
Nah, it's
Like,
all good. It's all good. It's all good.
Did it have to do with the new case already? I think it did, right? Like, it had previewed what had happened. Like, they got the phone call.
You know what?
They got the phone call of the
Do
family.
we really need to know?
I don't
No. Because I like to be like, we left here, but I don't think that's necessary. So we can just go into episode 5 and 6. As a collective, I personally really enjoyed the episodes. If I was going to be honest, and I think it's because my general like type of genre I like to watch is
legal.
more leaning towards the Judge from Hell. So of the two shows, I would say I enjoyed the Judge from Hell more.
Yeah, like I always feel that every week, because the Judge from Hell I like better because it's like it's darker, and I like things that are more like supernatural or like horror.
You know,
And then also
soak it up.
it's like got dark humor and it's funny.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one is like kind of a harder watch for me, because like that's not my usual go-to, because it's like so like rom-com.
Yeah, I agree, and that's kind of how I feel as well. But yeah, oh no, I remember now. So episode 4 ends with her passing out on the floor.
Yeah, because I was like,
Because-
they let the things
Because you
fall.
kept talking
The
about
red
the rice cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That still offends me. Like, that was perfectly good food.
You just can't let it go.
Even though I be leaving my food, like, I'll put leftovers in the fridge. And I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to
And
you.
then you just don't come back to it.
Yeah, like literally, I see a bag in the fridge. I'm like, what was that? And then I look in there and I'm like, oh man, I really wanted to eat that.
Yeah,
I
and it's
didn't.
been a week now or two.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not safe. That's in the danger zone.
Yeah. We go into the new episode with basically her being transferred to the hospital because of her feelings for the detective. Imagine like sending someone to the hospital because you're so attractive and they're like into you, and you're making their little demon heart beat like a human being. Like, you have to feel good about yourself. You made a demon fall for you. Which is just like, okay, for it to have happened like that, it made me question, right? Because she passed out, went to the hospital. We had another scene where he had told her, like, can't you speak as beautiful as you look? And then, like, she started to have, like, her heart started beating, and she
it was
almost, like,
all
lost her
other little
balance.
demon friends.
Yeah, and so it's like, okay, how is it possible that she be having heart palpitations, but that other demon who has a whole girlfriend is fine? Like, how are you not dead? Like, how are you able to fall for someone, enter into a relationship, and not be dead? Because she's not even in a relationship with a detective. She's just barely there.
I think it's maybe because he was maybe like a better, like a kinder demon than our Justita. But I actually sent you these memes that I thought were funny that related to like their whole relationship.
When did you send it to me?
Just barely today, I think.
Oh. Sorry, guys. This is for my eyes only.
No, we could share them on the Instagram or we could post them.
I read this one out loud. It's what's inside that makes you beautiful. The demon possesses my body blushes. Yeah, these are funny. Yeah, maybe we'll post it. On what's that thing again?
Instagram.
Yeah. Post it on Instagram. But yeah, I mean, to your point, you're saying maybe he's a kinder demon.
Or like
I don't even know if that's like possibly a thing. A demon is a demon. Now,
nah, I feel like there's cooler ones.
I wanted to land it. If you will let me land.
Go ahead.
Now, he's obviously been in the human world a lot longer.
Yeah, they said something like 3
So
years.
I think that like because I don't know
he
much
had, like,
about
a
the demon
slow-
world, demons are demons. Now, if you put someone that's a demon in the human world and they're there for a long time, it's probably hard not to develop some human emotions, feelings, and be a little bit more human than someone who just touched down.
Yeah.
So I think that that's probably what might have helped him, not because he's a kinder demon. And even as a kinder demon, I think that plays into the fact that he's been in the human world for a minute and has developed human feelings, as opposed to if he was just in hell, that man was not going to be crying for nobody.
Speaking of that, I feel like you would be a very like upstanding demon because you would be the one
Me?
you'd be the one to call him out. You literally just call me out, you're like, are you crying? You would have saw him cry for the old man, you'd been like, that demon's crying, to hell with him.
First of all, I will never be a demon, okay? I'm a child of God.
No, like if you were reincarnated or something, I guess.
So if I reincarnate as a demon,
You'd kill it.
I'd kill it.
You'd be the
I
CEO.
I don't know what you're trying to say. So we're just gonna promptly move on because me and you are gonna have some words after this.
I really
We
like
might see what is. I'm trying to remember like a popular like duo, whatever, that had like a falling out.
You know what? We're Terry.
Did you say Trisha Paytas?
And I was gonna,
Oh yeah. So that's gonna be us. After this,
I was gonna build on it.
we gonna fight.
I was gonna build on it and be like, we're Terry Joe and Trisha Paytas, like in that clip where she's
Oh,
she's
I don't
like-
remember the clip, but
like
it was like 2020 or sometime during the pandemic.
I don't remember, maybe, but like I just remember Terry Joe being like, she's like, you paid money for that mug, and then Trisha Paytas is like, how old are you? And she's like, oh, like I would have guessed 40. Like I don't know. Do you know the clip I'm talking about? Terry Joe and Trisha Paytas. We're more like chronically online than you are. You're harder to reach.
Yeah.
You don't got the brain rot yet.
I don't.
you don't got the brain rot yet. I don't know. I met her online too. I met her on Tinder. She tried to slide in my DMs.
You wish. Anyways, yeah, we might.
It's so funny because like people don't have context of you, like unless they know you in real life. That would never be you.
Yeah, no.
You'd be blocking people.
I don't do that either. I just
you just read it and ignore it.
yeah, I just ignore it. Okay. See, we just went on this long tangent. All I can think about is Trisha Paytas, and I don't know why.
We should have her on the podcast.
We definitely should not. I'm sure she's great.
But I'm so sad that the guy died, the kind demon, because I liked his character. Like, I don't know.
I guess this is very between me and you because I felt nothing. I was like, we only saw him for like 2 seconds. And I thought, if I was going to be honest, I thought he was going to be a problem because when he tapped into like what Justina was feeling after the detective complimented him. The way he looked, I was like, oh, this guy might be a problem.
Like he might align himself with the detective. Huh?
Yeah,
and he gave him his card.
No. Oh. I feel like he might. The way I felt, because he gave him his card before that scene happened. They were walking back together. They see Justina, and then he made a comment about like, "Can't you speak as beautiful as you like look?" And then she was like, damn near about to pass out, and the demon peeped that. I thought that he was going to kind of like take his back, use it against her in the demon whatever world. Oh. So I was looking forward to him being a problem possibly in the future. Then when they showed him up randomly again, he did. I guess I just was like, okay, cool. Now with him dead, what I was focused on was that the girl is going to be a problem.
I was going to say though,
because her mission is to get rid of demons who develop feelings.
Which I thought she had already like caught on to that, but apparently she hadn't.
She
because
didn't.
Somebody revealed it to her.
Yeah, because those two motherfucking cleaners,
yeah,
who their job is just to mother effing clean. Why are you going to go report? Well, I guess they probably know what her mission is. Yeah. Because why would they have gone to go tell her like, oh, that scene felt emotionally charged?
But when they did that whole unveiling of her character, like in that guy's apartment, the convenience store worker. The demon. She's a convenience store worker.
I said, are you mixing up Juke?
It's not my fault. They put
first you didn't know him, and now all of a sudden.
But no, like I thought that she was going to be Satan. That's what I thought that was going. Because
I thought so too.
Because you remember when she pulled out those rings and like it was glowing? I thought that was the jewel that they'd been looking for or whatever.
You're right.
And I had to rewind and I was like, what the fuck is that? What's that glowing thing? I was like, oh, it's just a couple of rings.
Yeah, I thought because when he showed up in his house and it was like dark, I knew someone was in there, and they had just finished kind of. I had Satan in the back of my mind from when they had that.
Child of God.
Pause. Not in the back of my mind. But they just talked about him like maybe 2 scenes ago, whatever. So I was like, oh, it's a plot twist that she's Satan. But hear me out. Hear me out.
I'm putting on my listening cap.
I think, because it said that Satan left hell 26 years ago.
Which is such a random number, like, but go off.
I think, what if Satan is a serial killer?
I kind of thought that too. That's the kind of vibe I got. Like maybe he's possessing different bodies or something.
And he killed the detective's family. But then I was like, then why would he leave the son? And then, this is a crazy thought. What if Satan is in the body of the detective?
That would be crazy. But then...
But it doesn't make sense because I'm like, it could just be acting.
Yeah, because I'm like, I feel like physically then it shouldn't give her pains. Like I feel like in the supernatural cosmic world, like they should be able to like understand.
No, because she believes he's human, whether he has a demon inside of him or not. The feeling that she's feeling is a human feeling. So regardless of whether he is human or not, I need to talk to whoever
makes these rules because like that's a silly rule.
Talk to the writers, talk to the people of hell or whatever. But I think at least the Satan is the person that went into the body of somebody and became the serial killer that killed the detective's parents. The other thing I mentioned about Satan being in the detective's body, that's just crazy. I was just trying to vibe.
What if Satan is like the assemblyman or one of the assemblyman's sons?
Ooh.
The one that we never see, the second son?
You know what?
You like the idea?
I like that idea. But I think
he's the first son?
No. Oh. I think let me just throw out another unnecessary thing.
I like your little where your brain's going with like
so
being unfocused.
The scene where the assemblyman and the chief judge are having food and the chief judge was like, "Oh, you should have more," and he's like, "Oh, I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to live as long as I can." I think maybe Satan is in the assemblyman's body.
Yeah, because they said that like no demon can live without the jewel for like indefinitely.
Yeah,
unless they get the.
So jewel. That's another. So you bring that up, I'm like, I can see that.
And then here's a crazier thought. What if Satan is the landlady church woman?
That would be crazy.
But it goes along with like the whole.
She comfortable as heck in church.
Yeah, but that would go along with like the whole like backstory of like actual Satan, that like he was like a fallen angel. Or Satan could also be the psychic woman, the older woman.
Nah, I just feel like
You're right.
the older woman just feels like she's definitely not human, but I don't think she's Satan. It feels like
I'm always here for the way she like her interactions with Kang Bitna and like the way they hate each other. Like when she got back from the hospital, and then she's like, "I'm waiting to see your funeral," and then she's like, "I don't want to see your ugly face there." Their like whole banter just kills me, and everybody's just watching it unfold.
I don't think she's human, as we already kind of sense, because she said that you guys should like separate from each other. But I don't think she's Satan either. If anything, I have another thought.
We're conspiracy theorists.
What if detectives' parents, one of them
was a Satan?
No. What if one of them was a demon that fell in love with a human?
And that's why they got, because he was dressed like like her little assistants. They called them like devils or whatever. I don't know. There was a specific name that the guy called them, but that's how they looked. They were like in all black. They had the cap. They had the mask on. That's how he was dressed, if you remember. So I can.
Yeah. So what if the detective's parent is like half demon, half human?
And then she ain't got to die because she's not breaking the rules fully.
But then if that's the case, maybe the grandmother is here to help.
Who's grandmother?
The psychic.
Oh.
She's here, like she's connected to him, though we're thinking that, because I think she's not human, that she's connected to Justita, but maybe it's connected to the detective because he has some kind of connection to the demon world. But I don't know.
I know we're running like a little bit long, but like, question for you: do you think Justita would like gladly stay in the body of Kang Bitna? Like if she was given a choice where she's like, they're like, you can either, I don't know, like die, or you can like be like a little minion with like a demoted position in hell, or you can stay in the body of Kang Bitna. Do you think she would stay?
I mean, if she falls madly in love with that man,
I think we're past that point.
if she actualizes and confirms like she's like in love with that man, I'm sure she's gonna choose. If she was presented the option, she'd probably choose to become a human and be with her man.
In that body, or just in some other body, or her own body?
I mean, it's gonna be hard for him to get adjusted to a new body. The person that she's in love with.
I think he's more in love with her personality than her looks.
It doesn't really matter, Paulino. You can be in love with someone. You're in love with someone's personality, but this is the face you've been looking at the entire time. All of a sudden, your face switches up on you. You probably adjust, but there's going to be an adjustment period if the face goes from like my face to your face. Like we look completely different. But yeah, obviously he knows that the body is not the person because he knows that she's in the body of Bitna. But most likely she would just probably stay in the body that they're both just comfortable with.
I was going to ask another question, but now I can't remember. It was like something that I wanted to know. Oh, do we know what happened to actual human Kang Bitna's soul yet? Like she escaped, didn't she? That's the whole reason that... Or wait, that's the story that she gave as to why she's there.
Yeah, we don't know what the truth is.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to Kang Bitna in hell. I'm worried that she might come back. And if she like somehow comes back, she's like, gonna need her body back. The real Kang Bitna.
I thought you were like saying they were actually gonna be like dissociative identities, like what the whole character was trying to play at.
First of all, thank you for saying that trigger word. I'm gonna jump ship real quick.
That's the correct term, right? Though you're supposed to say dissociative identity disorder, not
DID. This episode, we're definitely a little over, but we forgot to talk about the case in this episode. We're over here like coming up with like theories. But if we're gonna talk about the case in this episode, I want to say Yang Kyung-won, who plays the character that has multiple personalities, did his darn thing in that role. This is me trying to not
even the
curse.
detective was like,
You should go to Hollywood. It did its work so well. I was so concerned as to like how they were going to represent multiple personalities, but in this scenario, this person was making it up. So they didn't really have to get too super technical if this was going to be someone playing like the person was actually
they really never had him like on screen evaluated psychiatrically.
Yeah. And so that like he creeped me out. That character. I can't even imagine like when the little girl woke up out of like she took her headset up because she heard her mom screaming. I wanted to like tell her just stay in the room. Like stay in the room. I don't know if he was gonna still go kill her, but like don't move. But she still went outside.
I don't think he would have because he seemed really winded and inconvenienced. Like,
yeah, but when she like came out there, like he was like, well, I guess now I gotta kill you too.
Yeah, and he literally said like, oh, he's like, wait, I'm winded. Which I shouldn't be laughing at that. Like that's really dark.
Messed up.
But he did say that.
Yeah, I think I hate seeing people do bad things to other people. But as part of the show, I love seeing them get the justice that they get. So they don't get justice in court. And one of the things that was said that I want to put this out there. Let's have a very in-depth, serious conversation. The judge obviously found him not guilty and sentenced him to like going to go get help or something. And she's like, then obviously he dies. She kills him. And she's like, well, they should be happy he's dead. But the mother of the criminal's wife was like, I wish instead of him just dying, I wish he like
suffers.
I wish he got his time in court, his time in jail, and had the opportunity to like get punishment as opposed to just dying. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that it's very satisfying that they get their just desserts. They get everything that's inflicted. Well, they get actually usually a fraction of what they've inflicted on other people. She's always saying that. She's like, this is like 1/10 of like what you did to someone else. It would be cool if like there was some way that she could like record it from her POV so that they don't actually like identify her, and like show that to like the victims' families, also to the detective. Then I feel like they'd be much more like on board, or like not feel like their person like missed out on like getting justice. Because like I feel like if I were the victim's family, like I think it's a very human thing to want like revenge and retribution. So I feel like that would satiate like a certain like animalistic kind of like need for like revenge.
I can see. So depending on the case, right? So for example, the case in episode 1 where the guy got like she let him go instead of giving him a year sentence, right? If she gave him that year sentence, that would have been, in essence, him, according to what the law allowed, him getting punishment. But then she would have to live the rest of her life in fear. So him dying,
she's like, I was delaying that if I did.
Yeah, him dying made the victim at peace. But in this scenario, like we know that he got his due justice, and it was due to what he did to his family. We as the audience know that. Justita knows that. The family was just in court with this man found not guilty. And yeah, he's dead. But no one has come out and, like, he has not been found guilty of the crime of killing his family. So there's no connection to satisfy their feeling other than, like, yeah, sure, now he's dead. And he, like, but at the end of the day, in the justice system, this man was not found guilty of what he did to my daughter and my grandkids. So I can see why there is a level of dissatisfaction. So there's a way that some kind of message could go back to them, like you said, where it shows him like being punished in relation to what he did to them. Then maybe the victims will feel better. But I can like me, I want that person to not get the easy way. Well, I don't want to say the easy way I was dying because that didn't touches a lot of different subjects. But it just kind of feels like I want you to be dragged. I want you to be punished on this human planet. And then if you end up dying, that's a plus too. But now nobody, like, you're not being held accountable for the crime of my daughter, and maybe some other random person killed you for something else, but I don't know. So
I don't know. Like, remember in The Glory, the doctor's dad's killer? Like, he even said, he's like, oh yeah, I'm like fine here. I'm great here. Like, I don't mind being in jail. Like, I get food. I think he said like exercise. I get like studying. Like, it wasn't even a punishment for him. So like, I don't really see that as a punishment.
I
In
see it
some
as a
instances.
punishment because at the end of the day, you can say you enjoy you like that, but you don't have your freedom. You're not living your life. Your life is controlled by the government. So whether you still get to be, you get to work out in the gym and you get food and whatever kind, that would only make sense. Let's say you were someone that was homeless, right? It's like, but if you already had access to being able to feed yourself and live your life and go where you want to, but now you're restrained to one spot, you can try to make it seem as great as you want, but you don't have freedom. And so for me, understanding where the grandmother was coming from, the mother of the victim, I understand why him dying did not feel, because he left that conversation with not owning up to what he did to her daughter. And so I get it. But like, yeah, sure, dying is definitely remove someone from the planet, and people might like the idea of that, especially if there's a serial killer, you want them dead. But if they're killed via the justice system, at least the justice system is confirming that they are guilty. Meanwhile, what's been confirmed is that those people died, but no one is guilty of their death.
Well, the detective did play like the recording, which like affirmed.
It affirmed to everybody in the court, but on paper, this man was found not guilty, regardless of what was played. Like, the mom knew he did it. Everybody knows he did it. And it confirmed what he doesn't have a personality disorder. He faked it. At the end of the day, a not guilty verdict is what came out of that, which is not what you want to hear when you see that someone has done something. They faked it, but then yet they were given a not guilty verdict. So I
feel like she probably just felt more guilty too than any of our other characters we've seen that are victims' families, because like she kind of knew about the abuse.
And she told her daughter to just
go
like,
back.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, that was kind of deserved for her to feel bad. Like,
Yeah.
she should have done her daughter better while she was alive.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. That's
No,
not
you're
funny. I think one of the biggest thing that's going to continue to be a problem is Bitna continue to kill people that are criminals from the case that she judges, especially cases where she lets them go
Especially this one was so
scot free.
high profile.
Yeah, and they're all killed the same way, and they're all branded.
Stamped, yeah.
So the branding, like, I'm like, girl, you need to like kill other people that are not connected directly to your, because someone's gonna start doing 1+1. I mean, we know the detective already did, but there might be more people that are gonna start doing 1+1 because she has to kill how many more people.
I wish they would like give us a total, like a running total.
Yeah,
like,
because technically that guy killed 3 people. The one from this most recent
yeah,
episode.
they're counting it. Like,
So that's so she's already had 3 kills. That lady killed 3
Two.
people, 2 people. So that's 5. And then the one from the first episode, 1. So she's killed 6
so we got 14 more to go.
murders. We have 14 more to go, I think.
And how are we gonna get that? Like, we're on 6. There's like what, 14 episodes?
Yeah. Well, the serial killer,
Oh yeah.
because he killed like what 15 people or something. So that must be, yeah, that could be like
Oh,
she
that
might go
puts us-
over,
Yeah.
over,
You're right.
overachiever.
I can't imagine he'll be easy to catch or kill though, especially if he is in fact Satan.
Yeah, and I'm interested in seeing how Bitna and Down the detective's relationship like grows, like how it falls into him actually liking her back. I think it kind of already does, whether he doesn't know it or not, that he actually like is interested in her, because he started randomly complimenting her. And I was like, when did we go from this to like all the way here? I don't know if he's just playing on the play, but I think he's.
It was funny too, because like when her assistant was pretending to be her inside the apartment and like using her voice, he's like, "Why don't you sound like yourself?"
I didn't think she sounded like her either.
Like the way she was talking.
The way she was
so
talking in the
nice.
beginning, I was like, because we heard that loud sound, and then someone was speaking. I was like, oh, that's definitely not her. It does not, like, she would not be like soft in her response to him.
You should be like, why the hell are you listening
Yeah,
to me?
yeah. And so I was just like, so then I saw this and I was like, oh, I thought something, because they kind of showed the shadow looming over her. I was like, we don't got time for this. We really don't. I want to leave this episode with every time the detective is like shocked, surprised, I don't know why, she's a demon. He's expecting a demon to have human attributes, but she's a demon. So the human logic that you apply to morality works in the human world to humans, but a demon is just being a demon. I need him to like grasp that she's not a human being, she's a demon.
Yeah, like if it walks like a duck, it talks like a duck.
It's a mother effing duck. Like,
thank you for filtering yourself and not swearing at me.
it's a duck. Yeah, no, I loved this episode, and this time around I stopped myself from looking at the preview.
Good, I did that too.
And it was really hard, but I remembered I told myself that I wasn't going to, so I didn't.
Because that's a whole week you gotta wait.
Yeah,
like, with that.
But like now we're in episode 6, so there's most likely going to be something big that happens. Because at the end of episode 6, we see the little neighbor, one of their neighbors, that mom.
Oh yeah, being
basically
followed.
She was captured by someone that was following the landlady. Do you remember?
Yeah, because they peeped the landlady with the little demon, the young
Yeah,
demon.
and I can't remember, someone that said something. Oh, the second son of the assemblyman, I said something to Bitna before he left dinner. It said like, don't go around your neighborhood in the dark alone or something like that. What a effing creepy ass. So then they transition into the scene of that dude stalking.
And also our psychic.
I'm sorry, why is your foot in my face? Our psychic lady.
It's pedicured. Our psychic woman told the mom and the son, they're like, don't ever go anywhere separate. Like,
yeah, she's definitely not human.
Like, why go separate at the nighttime like that?
Yeah, I'm like, where was she even going?
Yeah,
because there's nothing in that area.
Like, why couldn't it wait until
Yeah,
the daytime?
yeah. So I mean, it would be sad if she doesn't survive, she doesn't make it. But I feel like there's going to be
serial killer that's caught her. Because at first I thought it was the demons that are supposed to catch the ones that are like having human emotions, since they were like looking at the guy.
Yeah.
The demon guy.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it could be, because it seemed like he was just looking to capture anybody, because he was watching the landlady, and then somebody showed up, so he kind of moved his whatever, and the other. So I don't know. But I feel like in episode 7 and 8, whenever that drops, like next week, there's going to be like a major shift. Like somebody's gonna die, whether it be that lady that was just captured.
Somebody we know and have an established relationship with.
Yeah, somebody that like matters to.
It better not be.
Well, I guess somebody that matters to the detective, because nobody really matters to Justita yet. I'm other than like a crew of friends, but they're demons.
Yeah, it better not be the psychic woman. I love her.
Nah,
because she'll see it coming.
Yeah, but like, the only people that should be, like, it has to be someone that's connected to the character. So, and for me, the only character that makes the most sense is for somebody in the detective's life, because that's the only human in that scenario. I don't think the grandmother is human. And if she is, maybe Justita might care, but it's not going to make her go any crazy than she's already been. She's just going to kill the person that killed her. But the detective, I feel like, this is a hot take. Well, it's not a hot take. I can't just call everything a hot take. I feel like the only person that makes sense, because we need someone that not major, but we need someone to die that matters to our lead character. And who matters the most to the detective?
The police chief.
The police chief, because that's like his mother.
Yeah.
Now, if she dies, that would be crazy. I don't want her to die, because that boy don't need to go through no more trauma. So either she's gonna die, or I don't know. Kidnapped. She's gonna be kidnapped. Because by episode 8, something's gonna have to like transition a little bit. The assemblyman's gonna get a little bit more involved. Yeah. Anyways, I I let's rate this collective episode.
I would give it a 9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10. I don't know, somewhere in there.
I'll give it 9.5/10. I really enjoyed it, but it's because it's just more my genre
Yeah.
of things to watch.
This one I really liked because like the whole action sequence of them busting out the criminal out of the bus or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Like that was
when
very
they had
high
the fake
impact.
outs with the little truck, and then and then they thought they were clear, and then another truck came.
Yeah.
The truck of doom can never be can never be won over. Yeah, I guess that was actually quite interesting because I knew something was gonna happen. Because why are they showing us?
I actually thought the like demon that he was beating up more. I thought that was gonna be the guy that got killed, like the demon.
Oh, the demon
nice
guy, and then they were gonna like see each other and like,
Yeah.
oh, I know you, you know
We
me.
should be writing this. Like we could
Yeah.
add a little spice, a little
Yeah.
judge.
Yes, let's add that to the list of other things that
We can't keep on top of.
we can't keep on top of. Okay, yeah, it's been a great recording session.
Don't look at her.
We might sell some feet pics. If anyone's interested, go to
What is-
www.
What is the website called? Is it Feet Finder?
I don't know.
Ooh, our producer is bold. They're looking it up on their computer. I would not want that on my search
On
history.
your search
We will
history.
wipe it for you.
Yeah, Feet Finder.
There you
That's where we will be posting pictures of Polly's
Foot.
pseudo foot. With that said, next week we're gonna continue the Judge from Hell, and we'll see if we'll finish up No Gain No Love.
Yeah.
If we do,
I thought that was related to Feet
I
Finder.
thought so too. If we do finish No Gain No Love, we'll wrap it up next week in our recap, and then we'll add a new drama. But I am torn between a new drama that's like currently airing or tomorrow. But I feel like if we do tomorrow, it would have to be like a complete watch and not just like episode by episode. But anyways, we can discuss that privately. They don't need to hear this. They don't need to see this. Are you? Can we say bye to our friends?
Yeah, so I was looking for like your recommendations, and I feel like that was one of the ones that I actually wanted to watch was tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. Tomorrow is heart wrenching. And it also has like hell and heaven type.
And yeah, this is the
scenario
one that I wrote down
to
that I wanted
it.
to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we could definitely like maybe do a Friday or Saturday after filming and like knock it out or something like that. So we could do that where it's not like.
And then also Benny is gonna get us authentic Korean food as well.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode. And you know what? We'll see you next week before I'm signed up for other things that I don't want to be. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with us today, and
Bye.
bye.